visual sensations which excite him. About 150 years later, we have quite another view of the same city of Florence based on the geometric rules of linear perspective. Notice now that here the artist has really removed himself way up in the sky. In his mind's eye, he fits it into a nice circle. And from this very abstract, very high position, you could actually make a very good map.
With perspective, artists portrayed not only the spaces they lived in, but imaginary spaces as well. On vaulted ceilings, religious mysteries unfold into infinite space.
The advent of linear perspective really mathematized the way we see. The understanding of perspective allows a human being to make a picture of a controlled and confined space. It doesn't have to replicate a real space at all. Perhaps that's the real power of perspective. You're not just simply copying nature, you're creating it.
Mathematicians begin using perspective to draw shapes and ideas that they previously described with words and numbers.
Mathematicians were fascinated by it. Perspective pictures increases the ability to show very complicated polyhedrons, for example, mathematical ideas, which heretofore had to be explained in Latin and in very abstruse language, which only a few could understand.
With three-dimensional drawings, people could communicate ideas in a new way. Edgerton believes the use of perspective spurred the growth of technology and industry.
Technology was the guild system where the master would know the technology and then would lay his hands on his best apprentice and bring him into the almost religious mysteries of his profession. And it was all passed down through word of mouth. But now what you could do is make exact pictures of a particular device. And it means anybody look at a picture can learn the technique. You make technology available to a broader population than ever before. And this is why the West got a jump on the rest of the world in terms of an industrial revolution. Far more important in the history of Western civilization than the printed word was the printed picture, printed perspective picture.
For more than 5 centuries, perspective pictures on canvas and film have become the milestones of culture and the bookmarks of history.
We today live in an image-glutted society. With every advance of technology, we produce more and more information and more images. We have had this intense thirst to take what is around us and represent it.
Donna Cox is a graphic artist. Instead of creating imaginary worlds, like Doug Trumbull, Cox is depicting cosmic realities for an IMAX film. She is illustrating a mathematical model that describes how 2 galaxies would collide.
I'm really taking information that has already been generated as numbers and use the best tools of our age to communicate it, discovering the pictures and the symmetry and the beauty that's there.
Cox collaborates with scientists to help them picture abstract theories and phenomena.
I was always torn between whether to major in art or science. And where I really found that things came together was with computer graphics.
Ideas sketched in pencil now come to life as Cox moves to the keyboard. Through the computer, Cox can access mathematical tools, including the rules of perspective, to help her picture the galaxies.
Art has been mathematized as a result of computers. For those artists who really understand geometry and mathematics can really use the computer to make some very unusual forms.
Each galaxy in the model contains 1 million stars. Computing how gravity affects these stars during the collision creates a massive set of numbers. For almost a year, Cox and her colleagues have been transforming these numbers into pictures.
Data is a burden in that we've got so much of it. It's very much like taking 20 pounds of mashed potatoes and shoving it through a straw. And yet, there's a mystery in the numbers.
For Cox, the mystery is what the data will look like in 3 dimensions. To explore this mystery, she will view the data in a tiny theater called the Cave.
Ooh, that took it down. Now it's filling buckets full of red, green, and blue paint.
The galaxy images are projected on the walls and floor.
Wake up.
When seen through
Run it.
stereo glasses, they will appear to float in 3-dimensional space.
Enter. Stop.
Instead of a
Navigate.
keyboard, Bob
Slide.
Patterson navigates computer
Adjust.
space with voice commands and a 3-dimensional mouse called a wand.
Stop. Frame. 300. Enter.
You step into this very dark
Key.
area and you can actually get massive amounts of data into the cave, and you can fly through intergalactic space, and you become a part of that data. You become a part of that experience.
To compute the collision quickly, 2 million stars have been reduced to 15,000 triangular shapes.
Oh, there's a lot more points in
Yeah,
there.
let me do a 180 here.
Cox and Patterson explore ways to choreograph the flight of a virtual camera that will document this cosmic
Yeah, I
event.
think we need to move around a little bit more, and like we're being affected by the physical gravitational forces.
Where does the universe come from?
It's almost spinning a little bit too much in front of us.
It's as old a question as probably human beings themselves. Where are we from? Where did this start? There had to be a beginning. We're taking the best data